Bismillah. Whoever asks you not to generalize and not to stereotype others in a negative way is like the one who asks you not to distinguish between them, wants to make you stupid in front of the groups that he wants to defend. Generalization and stereotyping is one of the basic principles of human thinking, and without it, he is completely incapable of dealing with the world and explaining the phenomena around it. Since the child opens his eyes, he distinguishes and stereotypes things and people. This is his mother, and the other is strange. That food, according to experience, tastes delicious, and the other is bad. Then he grows more, and his discrimination and stereotyping develops with him. This is a police uniform. Then everyone who wears it is a policeman and prison. And the other is for doctors. Then everyone who wears it is a doctor, a needle. Then he matures more and notices other more complex details that make him classify people more accurately, such as noticing, for example, that most criminals have a certain appearance and features and have their own way of speaking, so he automatically becomes wary of them, even if the majority of criminals, those with that look and style, are not criminals actually. But he knows instinctively that even if only 20% of them are criminals, it might mean that that they pose a danger to him, more than 10 times compared to the rest of the people. This stereotyping is just a preliminary position necessary to protect oneself, but also persistence in it, so that one does not deal with his surroundings except according to his general ideas, is another of the stupidity that a person may fall into. As if he insists on dealing with those who consider him to have the appearance of a criminal as a criminal until they are sure he's not. As if he insists on dealing with those who consider him to have the appearance of a criminal as a criminal until after they're sure that he's not. It is also easy to deceive him with a different outfit. Of course, there's a broader stereotyping than this for the inhabitants of cities, regions, or even peoples, and that stereotype may be right or it might be wrong, but it remains the fastest and best way to reach the truth of things and explain them and to defend oneself in front of others. Contrary to what the liberals want from us to make the exception equal to the rule, it is as if the exception negates the rule and does not confirm it. If you find in their logic a bird that doesn't fly, chicken for example, this means that it is not permissible for you to judge that birds fly. This is why they shudder in front of scenes such as they underestimated him before he dazzled them. They saw his clothes and thought he was poor, etc. Unless it comes to their opponents, in this case, their stereotyping reaches its extreme. And it is important to point out that those who refuse to generalize and judge others don't bother them to generalize and pass judgment in any case, in general, but rather it bothers them to generalize and judge negatively only negatively. But if you generalize and judge positively, that will be welcome. And you will not be told not to put yourself instead of the God or the judge. As Emile Cioran said, all these people were great because they had great prejudice. But they no longer have them. Are they still nations? Pretty much just a dispersed crowd.